What's going on, guys? Klutch here once again. Welcome back to Farming Sim 19. First day after the update, 1.3 update for Farming Sim. We got some new mods for us, some new mods in the ModHub. Let's jump into this and take a quick look at all of them. And we got a couple placeables as well that are not in front of here, but we'll talk about those as well. So let's get into this, guys. Pitter patter.
Klutch simulations.
We're no longer on the Michigan map that I've been testing on for the last little bit. Yeah, I've had some issues with that map on my Let's Play as well as my mod look map that I had set up. Unfortunately, it's just not really usable anymore for that. So we'll may see if we can get it reset up. For now, I'm on, I think it's Hofbrook is the name of this map. Yeah, European map, really nice looking map, really big map actually. It's available in the ModHub, of course. We've done a video on that one if you want to go back and take a look at that. Anyways, let's take a quick look at some of our mods we got today, guys. So first mod since the 1.3 patch, technically. I'm going to be talking about all of them. There's one other placeable that was released along with the 1.3 update. However, these ones were all today, but just after the update. So first of all, we got a subsoiler, this Kuhn, what is it, the DC 301, that's it, the 301. We also have the DC 401 that we already have that was base game. Well, 301, 401, this is the small one. The 401 in base game is a little bit larger. Let's take a look at them in the store quickly just to wrap your head around it. It's a little bit strange the way they've come out with these ones, and I don't really have a purpose for that particular one. So the 401, you can see right here, 10 grand, 130 horsepower, 4 meter. The 301, well, it's only 8 grand, but you're only getting 3 meters, but it only requires 100 horsepower. Now, I don't have too many tractors that are not going to be 130 horsepower. Maybe the Stara, I think, might be the only one, but everything else is going to be able to pull this larger plow without problem, and the extra meter I will take in a heartbeat, and the extra cost is really not much. So I personally don't have a use for this. I don't think. That could change potentially, but as of right now I'm looking at this and I don't see a use for it for me. Anyways, that's just my personal thoughts on that, but it is a nice looking mod still. It looks exactly the same as base game for the most part as that 401. It's just a little bit smaller. Next up we got the S-Pro 3000. It's a cedar, as you can tell. It's got a 3 meter swath. It also cultivates. You can see we've got some disc harrowers up front here, which is kind of nice. Just a small little cedar, very similar to some of the other ones we've got in store. I cannot remember the name of them anymore, which ones we've received, because I don't have them activated on this profile. But we can take a look at this one here. It's in the cedar section, of course. Now, your base, you're looking 3 meters as well. So you have a couple of these that are 3 meters for 30 grand. If you go down to the Amazon, you're down to 13. But so you're going to be comparing it to the Salvis or the Vaderstad. So 30 or 32. But meanwhile, this one here, I believe it's 20. That's 45. That's right. So it's a little bit more expensive. That being said, it is a nice looking Kuhn mod, so I can go in the options here. That we have 0 options, unfortunately, but that's okay. I don't think many of the cedars do have that many options in the grand scheme of things. It's 110 horsepower. What was the other one's requirements? Yeah, about the same. It's a little bit expensive for what it does. And the other thing is, if you go up to the Salvis, you're going to get an option to have a seed or a fertilizer as well. So that's a tough one as well for me. I don't see an upside to this one personally. It does look good if you wanted to go with all Kuhn, of course, but I'm not seeing any options for fertilizing, unlike if you wanted to go up to the aggro. Anyways, so that is the Kuhn, the S-Pro 3000. Let's keep on moving down the line. Now, next up, we got a bio belts, log handler, log connector, log shovel, I guess. I have an issue with logging, as you guys are aware. I'm just not good at it. And I don't know if it's FS19. I just have a really tough time trying to pick logs up. I'm hoping maybe this might help a little bit. It's nice that it connects to a front loader such as this. There we go. Now, I don't know if that's going to allow me to get underneath. My biggest problem I find is I cannot get my implements to go underneath the log. So when I drive forward, they just don't seem to get underneath. I just seem to push them around. I don't know if maybe this will help, because I'll be able to kind of force them in there a little bit, but anyways, that's the bio belt. I think it's the 310 model. Let me just drop this here so we can take a double check. Get this out of the way. No, don't think it says anywhere on it, does it? No. We'll take a quick look at that one in the store while we have a chance here. So you're going to find that obviously under your forestry equipment. No, sorry, that's not correct. It's underneath your front loader equipment. There we go. The LF180, there we go. So I've tried the larger one, this one single tong log fork. It just didn't work for me that well. Maybe this one might do a better job. It does have some color options, of course. With all the BioBelt stuff, tends to have full gamut of color options. But yeah, we'll give that a shot. Maybe that works. Let's keep on moving. Not much to talk about there other than that. This here device is just a loader. Now it's a cone, what is it? Gornek, I believe it is. Interesting little device. It's a bit of a loader. Let me hook this up here to the case. We'll take our case off the ramps and go take a quick look-see there. So this is an interesting little shovel of sorts. Now, probably not a bad one for feeding your chickens or maybe some of your livestock with some food. You can see you can move some of the apparatus up and down, and that's how you unload it right there. You just open that up and then you can tip it down. Or you can do the full tip function, which actually activates a piston in the back there, a hydraulic piston that pushes that up. Very cool. Now, the interesting thing about this that was listed in the shop itself when you go to purchase it is it says it's good for snow. I don't know about you, but I don't have any snow in Farming Sim 19 yet. Hoping that's a bit of an Easter egg or a things to come in the very near future. Oh man, I'm hoping Seasons is right around the corner, guys. But anyway, so that's the loader, the Gornek loader. There you go, you can see it there. I do like it. I think it's interesting. It's a little bit on the small side, of course. It's not a huge bucket, but interesting nonetheless. I'm going to skip over the Amazon here and move over just to this the barrel weight. Barrel. Just a simple barrel weight. Not much there. It's 600 pounds, I believe. Relatively cheap. I think it's only like 200 bucks. Let's take a quick look at that one in the store here. It's under our weights. Weights. There we are. We'll scroll all the way to the end. So barrel weight, yeah, like I said, 200 bucks. Of course, you have the full gamut of color options on this. You can change it to whatever you desire. And it has an option where you can add a trailer hitch. So you can pull something behind it if you need to do. I mean, for 90 bucks, why not? For the one time it helps you, it's paid for itself. So that there is the barrel weight. I think we've got a few of these now in the ModHub. Yeah, more weights. Throw this over here for now. All right, so let's quickly talk about this Amazon. Now, they consider it a weight, and it's a bit of an interesting thought to think of this as a weight. Now, this one here is set up to go on the rear of the tractor. You have an option to put them on rear or front. You can see now, when I lower it, it does steer in the direction I want to go. If you had that opposite, it would be the opposite. It wouldn't steer in the right direction for you. So for instance, now if I disable this and I go and put this on my front without thinking about it, it's going to not steer properly and it'll be an issue. Now that is configurable in the store. Let's see if I can get it to work here. There we go. So you can see it wants to go in the opposite direction. That's interesting. So you can't really use the wrong one with the wrong side of your tractor. It's not ambidextrous, I guess would be the right words for that. So the purpose of this is, number one, you could use it as a weight if you had it as the front, potentially the front option, the front loader option. This one here is more designed to take the weight of a large seeder or planter. Now, this isn't exactly large, but you can kind of get the idea behind it. So we can connect onto it. And now, when I lower this down, all the weight from that seeder or planter or plow, even for that matter, is going to be on that little piece of equipment, and it's not going to be on my tractor as much. And my tractor can just focus on pulling. And that's kind of the idea there. It gives you a little bit better traction. The weight option for it, for the front, I just don't really have a use for. I don't think it's heavy enough to justify and really do anything. So let's just drop this here. We'll take a quick look at the store. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There is an interesting option with this one that doesn't really make any sense to me. So we go to our store, of course, and we're going to find this under weights, which is odd. I think it should be underneath something else. Anyways, the Amazon T-Pack, $5,000. You can see we got our configuration as standard, and that's what we had out there, was a standard configuration with rear attachment. Now I can click over, and it's an 80 kilogram front weight. An 80 kilogram front weight, that's nothing. That's a couple hundred pounds. I just don't see a purpose to that. Yeah, I don't see a reason why you'd ever use that. Now the next option here, you can go up to 100, well, you can dump it up to a little bit more, of course. There you can see it's up to 880, so that does make it a little bit more useful, I suppose. But I still 800. So you're reckoning 2,000 pounds. That's fair. That's a fair amount of weight. Now, if you go with the standard configuration, which we've got there, you've got rear attachment. You can also go front attachment. Now, I don't know exactly why you'd want to put it on the front attachment. I just don't see this being much of a reason for this either, because there's no weight. You have 0 weight on the front. And now you just have a set of wheels up there that you can't attach anything to, because this is taking up your attachment space. There's no other attachment on the front of this. So I don't really see a purpose of this. The rear attachment, of course, makes sense. And the front weight kind of makes sense, I suppose. Now, I guess if you had it fully weighted up to 2,000 pounds, and then it was rubbing up against the front, the wheels would actually do something, I guess. But let's see, what else do we have that'd be even better? 3,300. I can't remember which one of the heavier ones now. I think this may even be heavier. Yeah, 2,400 kilograms. So it's something, but I don't think I'll have a use for it. And this configuration, I can see it being used. Anyways, that's enough talking about that small little implement. Let's just drop it like that. That looks great. The last thing we need to talk about is down at the end here. And once again, this is a bit of an interesting one. Let's see, it's the Weba, it's a silage compressor. Now, my understanding with this is that it compresses the silage by kind of vibrating. Now, I know it's kind of supposed to go on the rear, but I personally think it works better on the front. Now, if you can hear when we fire it up, there we go. And then you can drop this down, and I guess it's supposed to compact your silage. Okay, that works good and dandy. Now, you can see this one we've got here, it doesn't have a PTO. You can see we're connected with the hydraulic cables. Looks cool. Looks all good. That's how it's supposed to look. Now you can see we have another model beside us, and that one there has a PTO. So you'd think, well, this case, it doesn't have a PTO, so it's no way it should connect. Well, in theory, that would be correct. However, it still does connect. It shouldn't, but it does. Now you can see here, we can fire this up. Let's see. And get a camera angle on it. Now if you watch that yellow PTO, it starts to spin. There's not connected to anything. Anyways, so the prices are the same for both these units. So if you decide to get one, don't even really worry about it, what tractor you're going to use it with. It doesn't matter. It will work with both. It's just interesting, the overall appearance. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so that's it for our implements today, guys. Yeah, you can find all these in the ModHub, like I said, for PC, Mac, console, Xbox, PlayStation. Everybody's got these mods now. Pretty cool. A couple of extra mods. Nothing too crazy today, but very interesting. So the last thing I did want to talk about before we left was some placeables, and we're going to need to head out for that because I don't have any land that I purchased down here, and everything's back at the other farm. So let's head that way, and I'll meet you guys there. Alright, so the last few days we've gotten a lot of placeables that make us money. We'll start off down here. Actually, we'll start at the back because this one came out yesterday. It's the windmill. The windmill is by far the most expensive of these mods as well. Look at that. It does look good. I'll give you that much. It's just expensive. Brings in a good sized profit though, but it is expensive. Very cool. We'll take a look at all these in the store afterwards so you can get some prices on them all. The next is the beehive, guys. A beehive as well. Look at all the bees flying around me. I don't know if I can handle that. That'll drive me nuts a little bit, I think. We got a beehive here. You don't have to do anything with this. It's kind of nice. It is just a beehive. You just place it and it starts making you money. That's similar with the windmill. And now we finally also got back some greenhouses. We got two different variations of this. They're very similar. They're exactly the same price and they bring in the same amount. So whatever style you decide to go with, it doesn't matter. You can see here as we go close up to it, you can see what you need. You need water and you need manure. So manure goes in here, obviously. Water over here. And this will start bringing you an income. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So you can see we have the same thing here. Manure and water. Perfect. Now, one other thing. We used to have a beehive actually back in FS19. That if you placed it, and it was portable, and if you placed it with a field that had a flowering crop similar to sunflowers, I think canola as well, it would actually give you a boost to that crop. I wonder if there's anything in the code for that. Anyways, just food for thought. We'll take a look at these here right away. Well, since we have a chance to take a look, let's do that. So we'll go down to your placeables. I believe it's in miscellaneous. There we go. So your bee house is 20 grand, but it's going to give you $16 an hour. So do the math on that. It's going to take you a little longer, a little bit of time to pay that back. But that's what the bee house does. The greenhouse, you got lettuce and tomatoes. Those are your different options. So that's the difference in appearance as well. They're going to give you $60 an hour. So a little bit more money you're going to get for those, like quite a bit. But you do also have to stock them with manure and water. So be aware of that. Now, last of all, we've got our windmill. You can see that it's at 1.2 million, but it's going to give you $1,000 an hour. So it's quite a bit of money per hour, but if you got 1.2 million to blow on it, that's what it's going to take. That is expensive. 1.2 mil. Anyways, so the other thing that we did get were some placeable purchase areas. So placeable seed, fertilizer, and herbicide. So you can tell which ones are which there. You can see that's the fertilizer. We've got liquid herbicide over here. I believe this is fertilizer, and this one here is seed off the top of my head. Let's take a quick look at these ones here in the store. They're nice to be able to place on your farm though. So just in case you didn't want to put down a whole silo, you can just put those down now. There we go. So you got seeds, herbicide, liquid, fertilizer, and fertilizer. So the small one is fertilizer. This one here is fertilizer. That one is seed. I had them backwards. Cool. Those are interesting. So they're about $1,000 for a placeable, and then obviously you're going to be charged every time you try to refill one of your implements with them. Anyways, that's cool. But that is going to do it for us today. That's all the new mods in the ModHub for today, guys, and yesterday. Thank you for joining me for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, guys, don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you next time. This is Klutch. Over and out.